Welcome back to Anything Goes Garage. Right, Maggie? Today, we're going to paint the old Packard. Got to finish up what I didn't hit and got cleaned and got removed to be painted under. The underside of the chassis was all cleaned and scraped and primered. The trunk and the running boards were cleaned off, and they're ready for paint also. So today we're going to finish up this painting project on this thing. One last coat, finish everything, let her dry, get the wood stove started again, and I got to get my truck and my car out of here and cover what I need that I don't want any overspray on. I'll get the wood stove started, get the fan going, and open the door so we can get the paint smell out of here. So that's what we're going to work on today, right, Maggie? We're going to do some painting and get this thing back on its wheels again and start on, I guess, brake lines and fuel lines, and maybe get the tank in sooner or later. Getting there. So it takes time. Wood stove's going, we're making heat, get this place warmed up, and it's a little foggy and damp out today, and I want to get the humidity or dampness factor in the heat up in here, because this doesn't keep heat in here that well, even though it's insulated. It's a really cheap insulation, so I will be opening the door, but at least if I can get the metal up to a better temperature to paint it, and as soon as I'm done painting, I close the door and crank that thing back up. We'll be fine. It's just Rust-Oleum, so I paint it in colder weather than this and had no problems. All right, so we got to wipe this frame down and prep this thing. We got to tape around the trunk. Yeah, he's been busy with this priming. He primed underneath in the trunk here and cleaned it out real good. Just got to tape all this off so I can shoot this jam. And yeah, and I just got to do some prep so I don't get overspray on everything else around here. Come on, gun. Cup done. Alright, cup number 2. Got a long way to go. Sent them out for more acetone and more paint. So this will be almost quart number 2 going.
Alright, we're on quart 2. We're about halfway there, maybe a little more. A lot to go. Yep, more than I thought there was.
Okay, been a long day. Probably spent a good 5-6 hours painting underneath this car. It looks pretty good. I don't know what you can see here, but wheel wells are done. Rear's done, chassis done, all the metal parts that were primed and painted. I don't know what you can see. Might bring it out one day. I even painted the trunk. That was all done. So now, pull the rest of the taillight wiring out of this thing, put the brake drums on, start running brake lines, fuel lines, and I don't know, we'll go from there. Waiting for the fuel tank. That's supposed to be a new one being made, because since you can't buy them. So, I also worked on the Project 64 today. I got the rocker and the floor pan in, and then seam sealed it. I got a little more welding to do underneath. I got to put one little strip there because I removed everything to fit that AMD junk, and this pan didn't quite cover a lot of it. So, yeah. So I did that this morning and covered some stuff up when I was painting this because I didn't want overspray on everything. The cars and the truck was out, and I swapped those around. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back on that floor pan maybe tomorrow. Right now I'm hurting. I'm done. I'm tired from being underneath that car. So I'm gonna call it a night and work on something tomorrow. All right. Today we are working on the 97 Ram 3500 with the Cummins, and I have all the fuel rails pulled off, and I am doing the AFC with a manual adjustment one. I was going to do governor springs, but the governor kit I have is missing the springs. I guess somebody robbed them out of there or wherever I got it from, but they're cheap anyway. I'll get another set. I might do the delivery valve, but I'm a little afraid to do that. I got to find a pressure gauge to measure the pressure, so I don't want to mess with that yet. Not delivery valve. I have delivery valve, not delivery return, whatever these are. High flow valve, whatever it is. But I do have delivery valves, but they told me don't use them unless I put the injectors in to work with it. I probably won't do that until the new motor comes along, because new injectors 150 horse. So let me get this apart. Okay, we got the 4 bolts out of this AFC. I'm gonna push this out of the way for now until I can get back there and get that 3rd bolt out. I also want to do the governor springs. I'm going to order them today. So let me undo this last screw. Somebody's got a hodgepodge of screws. One screw didn't even have a head on it. I don't know how they tightened it. I ended up cutting a slot in it and tapping on a hammer, and it backed out because these are steel and aluminum, and that's what happens. So this is my first time doing this, so I'm not too sure on this. I need both hands, so I'm going to have to put this down. Alright, let's try this. Never done this before, so bear with me. I watched a lot of videos last night. I might have to resort to another video. Of course, can't get this. Ah, there it goes. Alright, there we go. And there she is. Alright, so we're going to modify that. And we're going to take that fuel plate out of there. Now, I think it's 190 and 210 or whatever, this 215 horse. I think one of the slots, I have to grind something down to fit the slot for the later model 97 and up. So that was in a video. A lot of videos cover stuff, but everybody's different. Everybody has a different way of doing things. Everybody has a different direction, so I'm going to go from there. Hopefully we can do this without any issues. Let me get this plate off of here. Alright, so I'm going to remove this plate. Oh, wow. Alright, so that's when you... There you go. That'd be my impact driver, I guess. I'm going to try something different here. There we go. Alright, so don't mind the TV in the background.
So let me unscrew this thing, get these out of here, and grab the other. So don't lose the washers in there. That would not be good. Let me go over the directions. Okay, so now we got to remove this arm off of here with this 10mm bolt. Try to watch the position of that. I got to get behind there with something. Let me find a thing. Alright, so I got to get behind this. So, I know they tell you in there to gonna slide this out of here. Whew, there she goes. Don't lose your washers. Now, all right, so that slides out of there like that, and you will pull this piece out of here. Always note the position. Put this one back in as the same, like so. Slide that back in. Boy, I seem like I know what I'm doing. At least I think I do. Just looking at the seal on this thing. Let me give that thing a little bit of lube. That seal's dry. Just a little squirt. Little squirt never hurt. And then, of course, now the seal does not want to cooperate. You have to make sure it lines up in here into that housing. It's on a cam, so wow. I cannot see this thing. I took a little coaxing with a hammer. It's just the seal needed to be square, more square inside that shaft into the housing. Now this, you got to try to put it back kind of where it was. Wow, this thing's tight. Gotta slide that over as more centered. There it goes. And you can see the witness mark on the back side of this thing. That's about where it was at. And then you put your screw back in. And tighten her back down. Oh wait, yep. Hold on a second here, let me look at that again. I just want to double check something here. Let me go over here where there's more light. Okay, so the arm is in. That's back to where it belongs. And our face is all cleaned up here. I may put a little itty bitty bit of seal in here because they don't give you an extra O-ring with this, just to keep it from leaking. I said that in a video, one of the videos, just put a light film. I just want to keep it from pushing any oil out. Now I gotta have to find 2 metric screws too, because the other 2 were pretty trashed. But that's the stock lever, so definitely don't need that no more. Okay, so after going back to YouTube and the instructions kind of suck, so I went back to their tutorial on how to install this. We're almost all back together. Just left 2 fuel lines. I gotta bleed them, put this back on, put the valve cover back on, but the cable's hooked up. Dumb me, forgot to hook the cable to the back of the unit. I gotta put these back in, and tomorrow, I guess, nothing comes up, I'll have this thing running. Hopefully I did everything right. I don't know, we'll see. Until tomorrow. All right, back the next day here. The adjuster is in the dash, it's mounted. I didn't want to put you through all that. I'm looking over everything. I don't see anything I missed. I just got to put that valve cover piece back on, but that's last.
I'll show you where I mounted this. All right. Let me turn this thing off. Hold on here. All right, so I mounted it right here. I am left-handed. Some people mount on the other side, but I can grab it on the go. It's not in the way of the shifter. There's first, we're good. There you go, it's not in the way of that. Won't bang my arm. All right, so it's all mounted up. I kind of already purged this thing of air from the injectors. Let's try it. I think I got this turned down too far. I think there's still air in the injectors yet. Yeah, still air. Let me turn this thing off. Oh yeah, she's around 2, not even. Yeah, it's 2. That's like economy. Yeah, I'll put it back around 2. I'll rev it and you'll see the smoke. I'm gonna turn it up. There you go. Throttle response is much better. I don't even have it turned up all the way, so there's so much torque here. So I'm gonna keep it down low for now. Actually, this actually has a theft mode where you turn all the way down and it shuts off the rack completely and shuts off all the fuel. So right now it's like, it feels like somebody turned the timing back. I like it. Yeah, I recommend this to somebody. We'll take it out for a ride and see what happens. It's a little involved to get it apart and together. But while you're there, you do the rest of the mods. The only thing I don't have, which I ordered, is on its way, is the governor kit. So we'll do that probably next week when that comes in. Okay, so I'm gonna button this valve cover up. And I wanna get this. I found that my vacuum canister is leaking for my cruise control. Is this on backwards? Shouldn't be. Oh, I see. There it is. I found that would drop the vacuum at the pump to 5 inches of vacuum. And when you took it off and plugged that line, it went to 25. So it might be a reason why my exhaust brake isn't receiving the right signal to open and close. So we'll see if that's gonna work. I don't think it's going to. I think there's something wrong with it, but we'll see. Uh-oh, that went to the ground. Dang it, I hate when that happens. That'd be the big boys right there. Whew. All right, well, today's Saturday. There's the trunk. All painted and ready to go. Waiting for a seal for the trunk lid. Hello, Maggie. I'm in the middle of trying to drag this front seat out by myself with a bad wing. That's my shoulder. Yeah, I need a rotator surgery one of these days. Probably gonna wait till beginning of the year. Yeah, I'm trying to get this seat out, get this inside defragged of all the junk and all the stuff that's in there needs to go away. The seat needs to come out. I need to start pulling that dashboard out and get ready for a wiring harness. And the dashboard's going out to get updated to 12 volt, I believe. So we have to also update the gas gauge with a 90 ohm sending unit for the new tank coming in. So we're gonna make all that work together. So let me see if I can get the seat out. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Luckily it's a short seat, not like one of these truck seats. I'm against the door panel, so that's not gonna work. Oh, I see, it's caught on the track. Sure wish I had some help, but unfortunately it's just me, myself, and I. And here comes the fun part. All right, one seat out. Now we just got to clean up this mess in here, and there's some neat little things in here. Besides the mess I got going on over here, there's the original speaker, because this had an AM radio in it. There's the floor heat, and there's a heater there, and there's also a heater, was a heater up under there. I got that all restored, that's put away. We're going to have to clean all this out and get this scraped and disinfected, because it smells like mouse droppings, and probably have to put a coat of paint in here too. Got to get that wood out of there. That's some kind of fiber wood, unless it's dried out good enough. I hate to take it out, but there's all the stuff that needs to come out of the back. We need a headliner. We're going to need to get in here, so maybe we can find some cool coins or something in here. We already found that one. I think we're going to find more goodies. Uh-oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, again. Yeah, looks like a dead mouse to me. Baby mouse. All kinds of critters in here. Old battery, lid for the old battery that was not being used, was under the hood on this car. Alright, that's much better now. I don't feel like I'm swimming in mice feces. It's much better. I didn't done the back yet because there's so much junk in here yet, so I need to unload this, get this stuff outside, and store it somewhere else so I can pull things out of the back. UPS man, yes. Thought I heard somebody out there. Michigan Motorsports, LS trunnion, needle bearing, rocker arm, adapter kit for the LM753 I'm building for the 71 Chevelle. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. It'll be a rainy day project. Press in, press out. Okay, so back to the Packard dash. This, oh, rubber seals hanging out of it. This is getting sent out to get the amp gauge updated to 12 volt. And the temperature gauge, that one, the, what do they call that tube? The temperature tube on the back of this actually was broke off in the block. And that has to be replaced. And of course the bulbs, because we're going 12 volt, will be updated. The radio, we're just going to leave that face on there, but everything else is mechanical and will get updated for 12 volt modern day battery. So let's get this thing apart. All right, so I don't know what you guys can see, but this had a radio in it, AM radio in from the factory. These are the cables that actually come off the controllers that turn the volume up and turn it on, and this one changes the channel. These will all get deleted. All this old cloth wiring is going to go away. We're going to put an aftermarket wiring harness in it. Probably, I'm not sure who yet. I'm trying to get Rebel wiring, but I know there's other companies out there, and it gives you all the options. This may get air conditioning. I may do away with the original heater and put air and new heat in it, updated stuff. Also, the ignition right here, this is an ignition switch right here, which I don't have a key, is actually cable operated. Most of the old ones in it, the switches on the coil. So it's kind of different. There's a ton of switches underneath here for like dash, whatever, dimmer. I don't know what this is for. This could be a backlight. This is probably something in the back. I don't know what that is. All the rest are, let's see, throttle, starter, lights, and there's a couple over there for the heater controls. But I also got to get this open. There's no keys with this, but there is the original mouse ridden
glove boxes, which are disgusting. And I'm gonna put on something to breathe through when I take those down. So I gotta find the screws that hold this dash in. I guess they're on the back side because there's nothing on the outside. It's kind of weird. So let me pop this thing apart. It's pretty neat. This is how you set the clock. It has a little cable that goes up and goes in the back of the clock. So if I can get this off, it's supposedly a screw deal. There it goes. I'm going to disconnect that first. I'm going to get all these cables disconnected, get them out of the way. There's one. I might need pliers for this. Oh wow, yeah. I'm sure these have never been apart. So there's a lot going on back here. Lots of cloth wiring, bare wires. Mice love this stuff too. So everything in here is flat tip screwdriver stuff. I guess they didn't, the infancy of Phillips head screwdriver screws have not been invented, obviously. Yeah. And these things do not like to give up the ghost. Let's see what else we got here. I can't get to that cable over there for the speedometer because this cowling arm is in the way. So a few hours later, yay! That's never going back. So I just found that this is the trip odometer reset. That's pretty cool. Huh. That's another cable. Here we go again. Okay, glove box removal. Let's see what jumps out of this son of a bitch. Huh. Nothing. Huh. All that for nothing. I cleaned the other one out when I got the car. They don't waste no time getting back in here. That's for sure. But 2 more bolts to go and this dash is out. So many screws. Wow. Glove box number 2. It came out in one piece. Yeah. Wow. Something's holding the top of this thing. Oh, I see. There's some kind of weird clips on it. Try not to bend this thing up. Ah, there it is, right there. It's got a clip on it that allows it to lock the top in. Oh boy. What have I got myself into now, Ollie? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go underneath there and inspect that again. All right, well, I did find what was holding me up. It was the oil pressure line to the bulkhead fitting. How about that, boys and girls? Now I just gotta finish the rest of the wiring that's on here, but at least I can get to it now. So there's still some stuff in here. I'll disconnect that. It's easier to get to from here with a screwdriver. And I have to also, the dash lights, I have to clip those and leave them on the side. So I did get that out of there. There was no critters, so we were lucky. Okay, one big open hole and one dash removed. That's what I call victory. I just got to sort through all the wiring. I got to take this turn signal thing off. This is aftermarket, but I have a new 12 volt setup. It just cancels. It's even got a canceling thing and it auto. Hey, there you go. I guess when you turn it that way, there it cancels it out. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Pretty neat. Some of them had a wheel on them with a little bump. It's all different types back then, but this is for a 6 volt, so I can't really use it. I do have a brand new one, a 12 volt. I think that's a capacitor back there for maybe the radio. I don't know what that is, but we're almost, it's almost gutted. This is for the speaker from the radio that was here. That's behind me. Yeah, I actually got this cowl vent to actually work. So I have to pull the throttle out. I could leave this actually. This is where the key was. I got to pull this out. Starter button, I don't know if we're going to use that. That's the light switch. I got the bezel out of here. I gotta take this out. This lights all this, but the wire is got no casing back on it, so I'm gonna have to figure something out there. But I think I'm gonna clean this up and wrap this up for the day. I am tired. I'm gonna go for a little ride in one of the cars and come back to this tomorrow when it's raining, because I'm wasting a nice day outside. Otherwise, I do need to work on that. So yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to start disassembling a lot of this stuff off here to send this dash out to get it updated. So a lot of this radio controls that will no longer be used, cables can go. Got to unhook the harness, and I don't know what else we got to do here, but I know the bulbs are all 6 volt. Everything's going to 12. So I'm going to take a lot of this out of here. Maybe snippet some of this. Well, I should leave part of this harness because there's no way to change these sockets over. As long as this cloth is good. Oof. Not like this one. This one here. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. Excuse me. All right, so that goes there. So we'll be changing bulbs. We have to figure something out on that. But I'm gonna cut this harness back, leave enough pigtail if I have to hook it up to the new harness that comes in. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's see here. This is a cluster, I'll tell you that. Certain ones will cut in certain places here. Like where that's damaged, I'll cut there. I don't know where that one went. Where did that go? Okay, that could be something else. This I think I could keep. That can stay. That's a ground for the clock, I think. Something like that. That can stay. I'm gonna have to unravel this whole big harness and just pull out what wires I need. So my trusty razor blade here is gonna be my friend. All right, that's much better now. There's all the excess wiring from the rest of the stuff we didn't need. There's a bunch of trash from the harness that we cut back. Some of this is going to stay. This old capillary tube for the temperature gauge needs to be replaced, and I guess update the amp gauge. This is the radio. We're not going to use that again, so I just kind of left these long and just cut them back. The only thing I might re-illuminate is the backing for the light on the. It would like look good, but at least lit up. And I have to lube the speedometer. It's a little dry. But otherwise now, I think this thing's going to be nice. Just want to pull these sockets out of here before I send it out and get it worked on. So let me get the rest of this mess cleaned up. We'll move on to the next project.